In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at creating an easy geometric pattern in Illustrator. In this tutorial, we're going to be using ColliderScribe, Randomino, and VectorScribe. Make sure they're installed. And we're going to start with a new document that's 1200 pixels by 1200 pixels square, and we're set to RGB color mode. Now I'm going to arrange my workspace for this tutorial, and I want to ensure that I can see the control bar at the top. I'm going to head up to Window, Menu, and select Control. Now some of the Astute Graphics features we are going to use have tools. So we need to ensure we're enabling the Advanced toolbar, so head back up into Window, and then Toolbar, and select Advanced. Now you can see the toolbar has expanded, and we have new icons, which are the Astute Graphics tools. You can click on a tool to activate it, and if there's a panel associated with it, it will automatically open. Or you can find all the Astute Graphics panels under the window, Astute Graphics, and from here we're going to pick Dynamic Shapes to start with. Now Dynamic Shapes allows us to draw out popular shapes. We can use it as a tool to drag out the shape. We just dock this panel over to the side. And Dynamic Shapes includes some quick key presses. The numbers 1 to 9 cycle through the different shapes on the top row. So 2 for circle, 3 for rectangle, 4 for an ellipse, and we're going to use 2 for a circle. I'm going to hold the Shift key down to constrain it between the 0, 45, 90 degree sort of angles. So we want to having pointing straight upwards, and we're going to release to confirm the shape. Now these extended lines showing from the top of the slice controls, and you can slice any of the standard shapes in the top row. Start dragging out one slice control and it will show you the preview of the slice. Hold the Shift key if you want to constrain the angle. So we want to make sure that we're going right round to 45 degrees. There we are. So we've got a quadrant of a circle. We want to make sure that this button is enabled. The sliced shape includes the slice path segments, and that just means that we have a full quadrant shape rather than just an open path of an arc. Now we're going to give it a colour, and we're going to remove the stroke. You can choose random colours if you want. I want 4 of these quadrants across my screen, so I want them each to be 300 pixels wide. So I'm going to use the transform menu up in the control bar, and ensuring the size is locked with this little lock icon is enabled, we're going to change it to be 300 pixels wide. And then you can tab key to change that, and then we're going to use the align menu to align it to the top left of the artboard. So left and then to the top. So the next Astute Graphics tool I want to show you is the Snap to Collisions, which we can find stacked under the Selection tool. We're going to select our quadrant, and we're going to click and hold the Selection tool to see the stacked menu underneath. Everything in here is part of ColliderScribe that we installed, but we're going to pick the Snap to Collisions tool. And what this tool does is it helps you snap objects together exactly, and I mean perfectly, pixel perfect. You can see the pink highlight dot is showing the snapping point. So if I take it away, the highlight disappears, and as I bring it back, it will snap back to itself. For good measure, I'm going to hold down the Shift key to constrain the angle so we know it's exactly lining up right at the bottom. And I can either now release the cursor to move the object, or if I hold Alt or Option key, I'm going to duplicate the shape. So once you release the cursor, we now have 2 shapes that are colliding. And we're going to repeat this process across the top. Grab the corner, hold Alt Option to duplicate, and Shift to constrain, and release it when we snap to that bottom corner, and once again. Now we're going to select this whole row, and then rather than changing to the Selection tool to do so, we're going to marquee select all 4, and then when we release it, we're still back in that Snap to Collisions tool. We can grab a point and drag it down, and all 4 objects are being previewed moving down. So remember, we want to hold the Shift key to constrain the angle, and we're going to hold the Alt or Option key to duplicate it until we snap to that bottom anchor point. Now we've got 2 rows. We can either do that again to get us to the bottom of the artboard, or a quick duplicating action is Command or Control D to repeat that process down to the bottom. We now have the artboard filled with the quadrant shapes, and next we will randomize their color and their rotation. So for this, we're going to use the Randomino panel, which you can find under Window menu, Astute Graphics, and then Randomino. Randomino can randomize all sorts of functions like color, stacking order, rotation, positioning. We're going to choose color to begin with. And here we've got a range of colors. You can use the sliders to change and adjust the hue. And at the bottom here, the preview window is showing you the potential outputted colors. You've got brightness and all sorts in here. But what I'm going to show you is how to change between a particular color list. So at the top here, we're going to change this drop down from range to color list. And in here, I've already put 3 colors. So I'm going to show you how to add your own colors. You can use the color picker here to select what you want, and then you just press the plus icon to add it to the list. And the preview window at the bottom is now showing us the possible randomizations of these 4 colors that I've chosen. And as we click the randomize button, it's just cycling through. And now I want to try and change their angle or their rotation. So we're going to choose rotation, and we can pick from a list. And here we have some degrees that I have already entered. Or we can choose a range, and then you've got these graphs. And you can choose the ramp of randomization more in the center, more towards one end. But we'll head back to the list, and here we have the list of angles I've already set up. But to delete anything in this list, we just select it, and then we click the bin icon. And then to enter a new value, we just enter the value here, and we press the plus icon. So I have got in here 0, 90, 180, and 270 degrees. And that means it's going to randomize from one of those 4 options. So if I click the randomize button now, we're now rotating those quadrants. So sometimes they look like a semicircle, sometimes it looks like a circle. It's really easy to do. I'm going to select that. And then what's left to do now is to add a background rectangle. So we know the artboard's 1200 pixels by 1200 pixels. Use the rectangle tool. And I'm going to align it and send it to the back of the layer. And you can use the right-click menu, Arrange, Center Back. Now the back, it's easy to change the background rectangle to a lighter or darker shade using the color panel. Or you can also use Randomino to pick for you. So in this tutorial, we've used dynamic shapes and slicing to make a quadrant, snap to collisions to duplicate and snap the shapes together to fill the artboard, and then we use Randomino panel to randomize the color and rotation from a list of options.